Got the engine out yesterday and the transmission out yesterday. And now we've got this giant mess to clean up in here. We can clean up this never region that never saw anything. You can see where the white paint is that Jenny was able to clean with the bilge coat when we first got the boat. And then you can also see straight down there just the darkness.
How are there spider webs down there?
I don't know. Just move some stuff out of the way, open up some floorboards, and try not to fall in.
Hey, we're Jenny and Rich, and our stowaway is Twitchell the Marina Cat. We've been documenting the refit of our 1977 Tayana 37 Ramble on for the past several years. I don't think there's a single part of this boat that we haven't repaired, replaced, or improved in some way. We're proud to say we've done 99.9% of the work ourselves. We've gained a lot of knowledge and experience in the process, and we're happy to pass that wisdom on.
This is our little stacked double bilge pump redundant backup system with water witch switches and a high water level alarm that goes and sets that alarm off up there.
So you got the little pump on the bottom, that's our everyday.
So the little pump is the pump that runs that's the everyday pump.
And the big one's the emergency pump.
Yeah, that's when the S hits the fan. These are little contactors, so when water touches, there's a tab on the bottom that's screwed to the PVC pipe or whatever. You can zip tie it to your bilge pump or whatever, but when the water touches this and this, it closes the circuit. There you go, and the pump kicks on.
What's the one above it?
So there's no moving floats. That's the high water alarm.
Oh, it's the alarm.
Yeah, so there's no moving floats in this arrangement, so nothing to ever stick or
And then what do we got on the bottom
fail.
there?
It's a solid state circuit.
What's all that goop?
This is what grows in our bilge because of the Perkins.
Yeah, it's
It's
disgusting.
just grease and oil. It's frickin' filthy. Our bilge is a nightmare. Yeah, and it's just gotten, seems like progressively worse
Yeah.
over the last couple of years. I'm just trying to get the hoses and everything out of the way. And the holding tank hoses are fighting me quite a bit. As you can see, this is our skinny little pathetic holding tank of approximately 15 to 16 gallons. Yeah, so anyway, they just glassed in this little back section of the bilge here and made a holding tank. That's some level monitor. It reads through fiberglass, and it actually worked pretty good for a while, but
It's too dirty.
I think it's filthy. It uses those foil tapes, and it reads a whatever resistance between it and the liquid inside the tank. I had to cut off the tops of these fittings, actually just these two here. I didn't change this one. That's the inlet, and this is the pump out. So this one has a tube that goes all the way to the bottom of the tank. So the oil pan used to be down about this far above, and the engine sits right here. So here's the front of it. So I'm literally laying on my stomach right here, reaching here, under here, doing all this work. It was I think we had the water tanks out at the time. We didn't have water tanks in the bilge, so I was actually down in the bilge, but I was reaching way back underneath the oil pan. Like, here's the front of the engine, and I'm like right here trying to reach
Right.
the hoses and hose clamps. So.
Yeah, because the water tank is right.
Yeah,
like
this
right
is
here.
the edge of the water tank right there. Oh my god, the thing's full. All right, slide that bucket over close. Oh god.
This is what's in our bilge.
It's just ice from getting stirred up. Oh my goodness.
Is it? I mean, it smells like oil.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to float a diaper on there and let the solids settle to the bottom, because it's just grime and goo and crap that's accumulated, and then it's all got stirred up with that black engine oil. Looks good. Get a little more of this water out of here, and we can start sponging it. I can find all the screws and tools that I've dropped down in here over the years. I'm gonna start cleaning the mud out of here first. Sorry. we'll chase it this way. I just wanted to get the bulk of it rinsed off for the bilge pumping, for that manual pumping purposes. Pretty much all of this has been cleaned and scrubbed. There is some flaky paint on top of the holding tank, so I'm going to pop that a little bit, but I wanted to still hit this really stained up spot with some more of this degreaser. And this stuff's pretty good. This is like Fast 505. It has like a citrus smell, so it doesn't smell all solventy.
But actually, it seems to work.
Yeah, it loosens it up. Wipes up pretty good.
Okay.
Everything's disconnected. Sort of rerouted some plumbing, disconnected some stuff we don't need and get it out of the way. So we've cleaned up everything, pretty much degreased it. It's ready for a de-waxer from TotalBoat. And then we're going to use the TotalBoat, it's epoxy bilge paint. So we got this thing as clean as we possibly could. I think epoxy bilge paint, we're going to do at least everything below the floorboards. And we're just going to have to manipulate wires and hoses to keep them out of the way, but I got everything pretty much strung up. The biggest thing right now is just to get the epoxy bilge paint on, at least one coat and all the way back into here, where the stuffing box is. First thing we did was sand it, prep it, clean everything up, wipe it down with the surface prep stuff. Jenny did that. And now we're going to mix this up, dump it into a roller tray, and chase around the floorboard. I did it on the label side too. I just ruined it. Now we won't know what it is.
What a rookie.
Totally.
So here is the first coat of Total Bilge, which is bilge paint. It's just an epoxy paint. It covered it pretty well. The white that we used before, which was bilge coat, was a little off-white. So this, you can kind of see a couple little spaces that doesn't quite match, but that's okay. Or maybe it's just faded. I don't know. Anyway, so we went all the way back to the stuffing box and the engine beds, and this stuff is sticky and really stinky, and it eats the foam rollers, so they don't last very long. So I'm not sure if we need to scuff it up between this coat and the next one, but we're gonna let this dry overnight, and I'll probably put another coat on tomorrow. By that white car?
Sure. These can be down kind of. I'm going to have to build up the beds.